Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. It is a Jurassic World double bill. I've had these for a few years now, just stuck in the box, and I came across them yesterday and I thought, you know what, it's about time I made a video. These are by Matchbox, which is owned by Mattel. The sub looks great. Looks like it's going to be a good scale. The off-road rescue rig, that just seems a bit small for 118, but we will see in a little while. So let's get a look at the boxes. So the rescue rig first of all. So you can see on the picture there some sort of spring action or something, or can close around dinosaurs. Simple details, looks quite nice to be fair. The front just looks a bit narrow and maybe it's not high enough. If we press, sounds and lights, that's quite cool. I like that. Does look pretty good. I do like that. Very, very nice. But is it going to scale well with R1 in scale? It's got a Jurassic World figure in there, but those figures are slightly smaller. Still going. How about... Okay, stop now. Okay, if we look at the sub, this has got a lot more space. It's for two people again inside, I can see. Great big bubbly. Very, very nice. That's going to be too big for my Chat May research vessel. That is the real issue, I think. Again, there's a button on top. You can see it says press the button, and it's just a blue light. No sounds, maybe? I don't know. Does look nice. Lots of articulation I can see. Let's turn it around. It does appear to be just a blue light, and it does appear that it can go in water, but I shan't be doing that in this review. Okay, I'm going to unbox these and set them up and see what they're like. I'll be back in an instant. Stay tuned. Okay, all set up. Very easy to unbox. I don't have to rip the box at all, actually, which is pretty nice. Really nice. I have put figures inside both. They do actually fit inside that rig and the sub, which is a very nice surprise. Particularly the rig. It's got a deep footwell, which is really what made the figures fit, which is fantastic. And also, with the rig, you can see, where is it? Somewhere, must be on the side or somewhere, that the sub can fit on the back of the rig. We'll look at that later. No accessories to speak of, so let's get a close look at these and the feature. Start of the rig since it's slightly closer. It just looks small. We'll do a comparison to another vehicle later. That's pretty good width on that. They didn't, paint the tyre there, you see. I'd be tempted to paint that tyre on the back there, maybe paint this as well. Quite a lot of work, to be honest. So you don't really want to be taking this apart and putting it back together. And there is some details underneath, which is great. And you've got an on-off switch for the sound effects. And the battery compartment, there's a speaker there. So if I stick that to on, lights flicker once to let me know. So let's do the sound effects first. Standard effects. If you press again, revving, press again. Horn, press again. Horn again. Revving. If you hold it, get the dinosaur. Pretty damn cool. Let's turn that off. Doors open backwards like this, and you can see inside the cabin there, it looks quite small, but actually the footwell is deep. And so your 4-inch figures will fit quite nicely. There's some controls on the dash, but the steering wheel just looks like a lump of round plastic, which is a shame. There's no real detail on that, and that'd be really hard to paint without taking the whole thing apart. We'll put a figure in a moment. And then the other detail is this closes around a dinosaur, or it opens, And if it's opened, your sub can fit in there, like that, which is quite nice. But the sub is so big in comparison. There's not the size to this that worries me. It's the size compared to my boats. It's too wide for my boats, but we'll look at that a bit later as well. So, other features on this rig. Well, yes, it has 6 wheels and they do freewheel very nicely. And then figures inside, I will use Lady Jane here. Is it Lady Jane? Who is, get a height measurement. Who is about 9 and something. In fact, we get a bigger figure to make it a bit more realistic for our modern day figures. Okay, let's get this other Joe here. He's slightly taller. In fact, he's a much taller far as I recall. So he is approaching 10.5, 11 cm, so he's over 4 inches. Okay, so he might be a bit of a struggle in comparison to us. I put her in earlier. If I get his legs bent right, he should fit in. Let's have a look if he fits. Be quite a challenge. Just be feet first to get him in there. If the feet go in the well, there we go. Look at that. Feet are in the footwell. His shoulders are a bit wide, but he sits in there actually rather quite nicely. And you've got space for the driver too. So despite me saying it looks small, and it does look small, you can get 2 modern 4-inch, a little bit over 4-inch, 10.5 cm, 11 cm figures in there, and at the same time too. That's really, really quite cool. I'm very happy about that. But it just looks small. What I'll do a comparison now with this before I move on to the sub. So I've got here the Fortnite Taxi. I know it's Fortnite and it's scaled differently, but look at that. This looks ridiculous. The Taxi is much wider than the sub, and it does seat then the rig. It does seat more people, but it just looks huge in comparison. So it just feels a bit small, but it does hold your figures. Okay, let's move along and let's look at our sub. So our sub is here. Let's come down a little bit. There we go. Very nice submarine, I have to say. I do like this. So features. Where to begin? More features in this. So you have articulation in these arms. So this can bend. You can circle around. This bends here as well. And then you can spin there. This arm, the same articulation, but you also have this spring. That one doesn't spin from there. I thought it would spin from... No, it doesn't spin. You also have this spring-loaded claw here, which is pretty cool. You got the light. Press once, flashing. Press again, solid. Press again, and it's sort of pulsating slowly, and then flashing. And anything else, not sure. And then solid and going the reverse. And there's that off, that's off. Some nice details on the claws on the actual sub. Underneath got great details again, but they haven't, painted them, which is a shame. The back hasn't been forgot about, looks pretty good as well. The top looks good. And these parts here are actually rubber. So these back part is rubber, so you get an actual airtight fit. So you can put it in water or float, or you can fill these with water and you can make it sink. Okay, and then the cockpit does open, he says. Now getting a bit stuck, come on, there we go, like this. And these seats look really small and narrow, but you've got a big footwell. You've got loads of control sort of consoles around it, which you could paint or put stickers on, I guess. And despite looking small, you should get 2 figures in. So let's try again. Let's use him again. The only issue is going to be with one leg where it's circular. It hasn't got much space for his leg. These plastic must be stretched around their thigh stroke. Legs, come on. Thigh stroke waist. You're nearly there, get in. Okay. So he is in. And his feet, you can see, are a bit uncomfortable there, but he fits in. And if I get Lady Jane, who's smaller, she should be quicker and easier. She's not as broad as him either. Yeah, much quicker. She's in. I should be able to close and seal. So now I've got 2 figures inside with ample space. So it's very, very cool indeed. I like this sub. I've got other things to compare it to, but what I will do is look at the chap-made battleship I reviewed recently. I'll put a link to that in the top right. The reason I'm going to use the battleship is because that's exactly the same ship mold with a few differences to the research vessel, which I wanted to use this with. So if I come back here, let's get this. Yeah. Battleship. Let's put it over there. Move the box out the way. If I take my little drone off, so the research vessel will have a space, but look, that is, oh, you know what? That might actually work. I've got to get the research vessel is stuck in China at the moment, but that might actually work for this going on. And a research vessel, as I recall, has a winch on the back. I'll put a link to that review in the top right for you. So there may be some good synergy, there's a word you hear too often these days, some good synergy between these toys, which would be fantastic for my little 4 dioramas and setup, etc. that I will do when I'm retired in X amount of years' time. Or before, if I ever get super, super wealthy from winning the lottery or something, who knows. So we've got the nice sub here, which I like. Is it? They called it the what? They called it the deep dive submarine, which I like. And then we got this rig here, which is the off-road rescue rig. 2 great Matchbox vehicles in pretty much 1/18 scale, to be fair. I think they are worth trying to find. They're expensive now. I got these together for quite cheap about, how many years ago? Not last year, not the year before. Maybe 3, 4 years, 5 years ago, I can't remember. So I'm very happy with that purchase. Great vehicles. Needs a bit extra articulation in the end of the arms on the sub, but other than that, fantastic. Worth trying to pick up to add to your universe, give them a little paint up, and I think they look particularly cool. Okay, this is Awesome Action Toys signing out, saying please like, share, subscribe. I'll see you next video soon. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye-bye.